Good evening, all you minties, and welcome back to another episode of Reelz Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, and my lovely co-host, the Uncanny Omar.
What's up, everybody? This is the
Yeah.
Uncanny Omar. Just out of curiosity, because I noticed this the last time we did a replay, did everybody hear the theme music, or is it just a video that you see? Because for some reason, the theme music wasn't playing the last time. But I'm so excited to talk about this. We didn't really need the theme music, but what's going on, everybody?
What's going on? Yeah, so as you guys know, we were going to do a Wasn't Really That Good out of one of the Nolan Batmans, and
It would have been Dark Knight. Everybody voted for Dark Knight. I think it was over 1,100 votes for Dark Knight. So that's
exactly. So that's
okay. So you're just seeing the video. Okay, weird. Why? We can hear it.
Yeah, we can hear it on our end. So
yeah,
I'm usually jamming out to it right before y'all we go live, and you can see our lovely faces. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I need to fix that. Okay, can you play the theme song on mouth harp? I cannot. Amanda, though.
I don't have a mouth harp.
Yeah, I don't have.
I don't even know how to play a harmonica in my life.
Tom Petty would have. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been really good at it too.
Yeah, legend. He was a legend. So yeah, we got some big breaking news from James Gunn himself. That was really cool, talking about the future of the DCEU. And I'll be honest with you, it's one of these things with DC that has broken not just mine, but a lot of people's hearts over and over. They keep announcing things and they keep canceling them. Hell, they even film a movie and they cancel the movie. So, I mean, obviously they don't care about a $90 million budget, but I don't know. There's just something hopeful about these things, and that's the way I like to remain. And the announcements made me very happy. Oh, my goodness. What's up, Martin? Yeah, I'll just say hi to everybody. Finally, DC fans can celebrate Jesus. Yes. I mean, it seems like it's all good news all around. What's going on, Josh? How are you, brother? Phil, the age excuse for dumping Cavill was so BS, especially since new bats won't be that young with son Damian. Plus the Superman movie. Oh man, there's so many things to talk about, and then James Gunn coming out and talking about the whole Henry Cavill thing was a little weird because he really didn't have to. But I don't know. There's this. He
talked about a lot of stuff too. He brought up not only that, but they had asked him in the interviews about obviously Ezra Miller. They discussed Ezra Miller and their recovery through all their mental health issues. He also talked about. So I think the question was posed to him during the interview with all of the different news outlets about how they're going to handle actors who may have some controversies, and the most recent one being Zachary Levi, who touted some anti-vax kind of language directly about Pfizer vaccines for COVID-19, and basically James Gunn, not one to who's known for his own controversial things he said. Pretty much said, he said, I'm not going to fire someone who I may disagree with their views, but obviously if they do something, it's a different story. And so that's kind of where he stands, which is interesting in this day and age, considering just by saying something you can get fired from a project.
So James Gunn came out and said, I'm not going to fire somebody for just saying something.
Yes.
Boy,
yeah. I was thinking about Disney, right? Because they're not only did they fire him once for things he said many, many years ago, but then of course Gina Carano is another example.
I was going to say okay, well,
yes.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. All right. Let's just leave.
Let's just bump into it. So,
let's focus about these movies.
Yes.
That's what I'm
So James Gunn announced, Chapter 1 called Gods and Monsters. So this all begins after, of course, we're still getting our Shazam, Fury of the Gods movie coming out in March. We're still getting the Ezra Miller Flash coming out.
Is it Flash or is it Flashpoint? What are we calling this thing?
Flash right now. No one's calling it Flash. It's called
I'm calling it Flashpoint.
Maybe it's, but I'm calling it the Flash, the actual Flash movie with it. That's okay. And of course, Blue Beetle. And then last but not least, Aquaman 2 starring Jason Momoa. And then we start to kind of kick off this Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And he announced everything. And later on in the interviews that he had with different news outlets, he kind of let us know that the way he announced all the projects isn't necessarily in order in which those projects will premiere either in theaters or on HBO Max, with the exception of one of the, apparently there's a tentative date for Superman Legacy, which is July 11th, 2025, which should give them enough time to find an actor, because as we all were talking earlier, he said they didn't fire Henry Cavill, but they just didn't hire him for that job because what they have in mind is not Henry Cavill. Okay. So, yes. Yeah, but there's a lot to talk about because he announced a lot of stuff that's coming out that's new. There's other things that we knew were coming out that have been put back or they really didn't dive into. For example, he did mention that Peacemaker 2, season 2 has been delayed because of his work because of the Superman script, and also, unbeknownst to all of us, he's been heavily involved in working on his Creature Commandos animated series. So none of us realized that was happening, but he's been hard at work at that and doing the Superman Legacy script. So he pushed back Peacemaker, but according to him, the Peacemaker team will be heavily featured in the new Waller TV series that is going to be premiering. So with that said, Omar, do you want to go ahead?
Let's talk about the TV shows first.
Okay, yes. Let's go ahead and talk about the TV shows.
So this again being the first, I guess the first rollout of the TV shows coming out, and holy, excuse my language, yeah, I am so happy to see. Oh my God, Booster Gold, the lanterns there. Oh yes, give it to me, baby, give it to me. I mean, if Booster Gold is done right, and Booster Gold fits that kind of James Gunn character. My goodness, if Nathan Fillion was just 15 years younger, it would have been perfect. But yeah, here we have Waller, we have lanterns, which honestly, the Green Lantern Corps has been in the works. Oh my gosh,
for a lot,
4 years now, 5 years maybe.
Yeah.
Creature Commandos, which is something that Amanda just talked about, and that one's gonna be animated, right?
Yes, that's an animated series, now, and the rest of these are all live action.
I assume, are we talking CG or are we talking hand-drawn animation?
Oh, he didn't go into the specifics of what the animation is going to look like. He just said it's going to be animated. And another point of fact, because we're talking about the animated, and this goes along with video games and anything along those lines, he did make it clear now that whoever they cast in these roles, they will be that role if it was to cross over into, say, live action. So whoever they cast in the Creature Commandos, which I saw the Weasel, and I was like, okay, your brother, obviously. So when you do a live action and the Weasel somehow shows up, then it's going to be Sean Gunn. It's going to be playing that role, right?
Right.
Yeah, so whoever they're going to cast in the voices, they're also intending on that person probably.
Oh, dude. So sorry. I love this, Matt.
Yes.
I love that guy. So yes. That's actually perfect.
I love Glenn Powell. Yeah.
They better grab him before Marvel does that.
You never know. But it's really, go ahead.
Okay. Here's a quick question. When looking at all these TV shows, and anybody in the chat can join in this combo, do you think that he is going to approach it the MCU way of this is phase one?
So
and phase one meaning that these stories are going to connect, because you just said something that reminded me of, okay, if the Creature Commandos is animated, and that means that they'll cast actors for the live action stuff, does that mean these stories are interconnected? Is Waller connected to the Green Lanterns? Is Booster Gold connected to Creatures Commandos? You know what I'm saying? Like, or is it going to be standalone things? Kind of like what we've seen here lately with Shazam and hell, even Black Adam, with the exception of Superman showing up at the end. But I think that was a whole The Rock, Dwayne Johnson wanting that to happen thing. So is it going to be, I don't know, pocket universes or interconnected like MCU, one thing leading into another?
So no, it is going to be more connected than these pocket universes. So the way he described it is that we have the DC universe, so not DCEU anymore, so the DC universe proper, which is going to be all of these projects, and then they're still including our 4 movies coming out right now, the Shazam and Flash, etc. Then anything like Matt Reeves' Batman or the Joker, and they said Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Superman is still in the works and development actively. Those will be considered
the Grant Morrison character from Earth. Oh, what Earth was it? What was his name? Calvin. Okay, because I also noticed in the
Elseworlds, DC Elseworlds. That's what they're be called.
If we are going to call it Gods and Monsters, which I love that, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Paradise Lost makes sense. If Paradise Lost is Themyscira and a Wonder Woman story, because there is a Paradise Lost Wonder Woman story, but hell, Paradise Lost is a title that they've used everywhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we've gone into that, like if Paradise Lost is really going to be a Wonder Woman related movie or TV show, or what exactly it's going to be.
So it's really interesting because I love the way he describes some of these TV shows specifically, very much in the lines of HBO shows. So the first thing he said is Paradise Lost is going to have a lot in common with Game of Thrones. What does that mean? I don't know. But when I hear Game of Thrones, I see very distinct things coming to mind. It's going to have that political and intrigue among this island of all women. So then I think of Game of Thrones. I think, are we seeing a lot of sexiness? Are we seeing a lot of violence?
I'm okay with this.
Like, what is this gonna look
an island full of women with a bunch of sexiness? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then in one of the interviews, he said, like Gal Gadot, they haven't really fired her. She's kind of like on a if she comes back, what would it look like? I mean, will she come back as a cameo as Wonder Woman? Would she come back maybe as Wonder Woman's mom? Like, there could be a number, and play another character entirely. Yeah. So they haven't ruled her out.
What you're saying is that this could wipe the slate clean, right?
Yeah. Well, he said Flash will wipe the slate clean. In the announcement he made on Instagram and YouTube, etc., he did say Flash is going to wipe the slate clean, pretty much, and reset everything. That's what that is for. And he said it's a wonderful film. So I'm very excited to see if he's either just trying to reassure us that to go see the movie after all the delays and after everything that's happened with Ezra Miller, or he really honestly does believe it is a great film and we are going to be pleasantly surprised by it. Huh. So it kind of can go both ways.
Omar, did you catch the entire phase being named after a volume of The Authority? Obviously Gunn is a big fan of some of these stories. Honestly, I am shocked as hell to see some of these in phase one. I'm happy as a comic book reader and very happy to, for non-comic book fans to experience some of these stories. Like if you had told me that, okay, we're relaunching the DC universe 5 years ago and you're going to have The Authority as being one of the movies you're going to launch the DC universe. No, what? That wouldn't be anywhere near my radar. So I'm interested to see where they go from there because The Authority, by the way, despite of how people feel about Warren Ellis, but it was also written by Mark Millar and a bunch of other writers eventually. But the first thing that it did was bring that cinematic feel to comic books. That's what it's known as. And that cinematic feel went over with Brian Hitch to the Ultimates in the Marvel Universe. And the widescreen shots, everything felt like a big summer blockbuster in The Authority, the big giant ships, the big battles. So I guess it kind of makes sense that, hey, we've got this thing that we've owned the rights to. So
exactly.
It'll be very, very exciting. So I'm excited to talk about the movies too.
Yeah, and it is his passion project. So he's very excited about The Authority I'm sure he's going to be heavily involved in it. I don't believe he's probably going to write it. He's very excited for that one. That's his passion project.
I don't see that, dude.
What?
So when I was grabbing pictures for the thumbnail, I was like, holy crap, James Gunn has aged. Like, he's only been in charge.
I know.
You see the pictures of the presidents and how they age after 4 years. I think Obama is one of the most notorious. No gray hair. They coming out completely gray. Dude, James Gunn ain't even made his first movie. He's already grayed out.
What's he gonna look like in 10 years? Josh said, I think The Boys opened the door for The Authority, and I think that is. Invincible are some good predecessors to what we can see on screen, right? Because he mentioned in one of the interviews how he wants to show that we don't have just white hats, black hats, we also have gray hats. The Authority will sit in that gray area. And that's what we see in a lot of more modern takes on superheroes, like The Boys, for example, that gray area of who's really right and who's really wrong and who's doing the right thing. And so that's going to be interesting. But in regards to the other TV shows, I know with Lanterns, now this is interesting. I want to hear your take on it. He said that the Lanterns is going to, obviously feature Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart. I was excited because I think I've wanted to see Jon Stewart in live action for a long time. So I'm glad that they're going to do that. Yeah,
because he's your Green Lantern from
my Green Lantern
cartoon. I get it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm very excited. But they said it's going to be terrestrial based, so based mainly on Earth. We're not going to be in space a lot, and very True Detective style. Again, with the naming other HBO shows. So it's going to be nitty gritty True Detective. I hope not Vince Vaughn season 2 True Detective, and I hope more like season 3 with Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
If we have to take, if we're talking True Detective.
I know. I can't remember. I mean, if you think about it, the Green Lantern Corps are the police of the galaxy, right?
Yeah.
And there have been several stories about that. The latest one I think that they did was oh my gosh, Far Sector, which is a brand new Green Lantern that was investigating. I love the artwork in that. Man, my girl had some nice booty. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yes, so they were investigating somewhere like in a far region, right? Just because they're Earth-based doesn't mean they won't get to travel somewhere. So I think if it's going the True Detective route, holy crap, that's awesome, because that's the way people think of Batman, right? World's greatest detective. Although some people online claim that he's a 6 out of 10 detective. Fools. But if they do that with Green Lantern, holy crap, that opens the door to a whole new different type of TV show. That excites me. That more so than Paradise Lost, Game of Thrones thing. What you just said is awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
and he hinted that whatever mystery that they're trying to solve in their series is going to tie into a larger mystery for the entire franchise. So that's where you asked, are these things connected? Yes. I don't know if they'll be as connected as the MCU, where it's become where I have to watch this because it might have an end credit for this. But it's going to be connected so that we can follow that there's some big storyline going on with all these different properties, minus the Elseworlds, anything that is brave, bold, and unique that they want to stand alone. So
the Omnipulse, they haven't opened up yet. The Omnipulse opened up in February. Grant Morrison finally getting the spotlight after saving Batman with their run is perfection. Oh, yes, I can't wait to talk about that, too.
Me too. All right, so
yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Kyle and Guy, and I'll even take the other 2 Lanterns that joined Boss, and I cannot remember her name. Maya, almost said Jennifer. Lopez, that's why, the name. I'll take them, too. Hey, just give me the classic Green Lantern Corps. Kilowog and all those guys. I'll take Gnort. I'll take them all, man. I love the Green Lantern. I have been ready for a Green Lantern Corps type of show. So nobody is tied to any of these projects yet besides Gunn, right?
As far as creators, no. Besides Gunn, there's no distinct
I call him Maya
writers. Now, what's interesting is he did in order to create this overall vision, there was a slate of directors or writers and storytellers, as they say, people who are friends of his that came together to help develop this overall story arc and where we're going with the DCU franchise. Those people were the Martian scribe Drew Goddard, who has some great stuff underneath him. The Flash's writer Christina Hodson, Moon Knight head writer Jeremy Slater, and Watchmen writer Crystal Henry. And I believe that she's also the one who's going to be heading up the Waller TV series, which we know will still star Viola Davis, and then whoever was in the.
So wait, they're not recasting her?
No, she's gonna be her. Yeah,
how does she get by?
It's a spin-off live because it's Viola Davis. So.
No, I get it, but I mean, now is the time to start saving some money, get you a young actress. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be paying a lot of money
keep for the Peacemaker cast, because let's face it, he's keeping the products he created.
I met Jessica Cruz. I think I called her Maya Lopez.
That's funny.
Which is not right at all.
Not right. No, but he's keeping his Peacemaker cast.
Oh, he's playing favorites already.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's playing favorites, but he's keeping his Peacemaker cast, and of course her.
His wife is in the Peacemaker
cast. And his wife's in it. Yeah, well, I mean, but Amanda Waller's daughter's in the Peacemaker group, so they have to keep our original Amanda Waller. It makes the most sense.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Michael Edmond? You know what I'm saying? Young, hot Amanda Waller. Come on now. Gunn's wife's got to keep her jet, y'all. I mean, and yes, Maya Lopez is Echo.
And when we talk about
mixed up, I'm blaming
nepotism,
the Rolling Rock tonight.
Yes. Is that what you're drinking right now?
That is what I'm drinking right now. All right, let's see. We talked about Waller. We talked about Lanterns, Creature Commandos, Booster Gold. Let's talk a little bit about that. Yes. And then move on to the movie.
Did you hear the way he described Booster Gold too? I mean,
I did.
Yeah, he called him, what did he call him? The most popular loser who he has imposter syndrome. I was like, yeah, that is Booster Gold. I can't wait to see who you cast, and it better be a damn good actor, is all I'm saying.
Well, I think you would have to cast somebody. It's going to be hard because Booster Gold, to get that kind of character, he both has to be likable and somebody that you want to punch in the face from time to time. And it's kind of hard to find that person, right? Mm-hmm. But then again, I don't know. John Cena plays Peacemaker like that a lot. And, he's completely unbearable. I don't know. That somebody mentioned the guy from Top Gun, who I really like as an actor. I think he's
Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell. He would be a good.
I think he would do great.
And he's still he's still age-wise, he could be in the franchise for a while. So I wouldn't see an issue with that. Yeah.
Grabbing Booster Gold and Jaime Reyes. We're going to have a Ted. I think Ted Kord will show up in the Blue Beetle movie. I mean, there's no way that they don't do Ted Kord.
Like I said, Susan Sarandon's playing his wife, so he should show up in some form or fashion. They're just not gonna.
Is it what's his name? Her husband, Tim.
No, it is not Tim Robbins. No,
he's a little old. But then again, I don't know. Maybe Blue Beetle likes him a little aged like a fine wine. I don't know. I ain't here to judge. James, I saw this. James Mangold, the director of Logan and Indiana Jones 5, which I haven't seen yet, so let's not give him credit for that because it could go bad, is directing Swamp Thing. Wish we would have gotten Del Toro. He's been wanting to direct Swamp Thing for decades. Oh, I would have loved to see Del Toro, but let's save Del Toro for something else because there's a lot of other franchises I'd love to see Del Toro work on.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Rumor gives Booster Gold part. Oh, God. More Chris Pratt. Oh, wait, he did work with him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, he did. He did. Oh, Bert.
Yeah, Bert's right. Thank you for the super chat. And Sean Gunn and Michael Rooker both have guaranteed checks.
Yeah.
He does love his family, and they've been working together for a long time.
They have. So he'll be taking care of those that he considers part of his family, even if they're not, part of his family, like Sean Gunn. Michael Rooker still.
Oh my gosh, I already see him as Booster Gold now. Dang. Okay,
it's already happening. But see, would they do that? Because in my mind, the way that he would portray him would be so close to Peter Quill that you wouldn't want to.
Well, I know, but don't you want to cash in on the popularity of the Guardians? I don't know.
True, I guess, but I feel like James Gunn is smarter than that, and he wouldn't want the comparisons. Give him something else. Maybe not Superman, but give him something else is crazy.
Bro, a lot of Booster Gold comics been selling lately. Dude, Superman or Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, that Tom King book is gone everywhere. Officially out of print now. Mm-hmm. It's nuts. And now people are trying to flip those trade paperbacks and single issues.
Oh, yeah. I tried to get the trade paperback, and it was, I think, someone was trying to sell it for $34. And I was like, I am not. What's that trade?
I'm the visit comic book stores. What's up, Make Havoc? How you doing, brother? Isn't Jason Sudeikis playing Ted Kord and Blue Beetle though? They probably gonna kill him in Young Justice.
Is that true? I haven't heard about that one. That would be awesome.
Now that's what I want to see. Somebody else had the Nightmare, the House of Mystery and House of Secrets anthology. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see Guillermo del Toro in charge of, like an anthology horror series. But I'd be okay with Constantine or Constantine too. I think Pratt is getting on people's nerves. He needs something more backseat. I mean, he's Mario, right? So
yeah, that's not backseat.
Yeah, it's not backseat.
After that, maybe he'll take a break. He should just follow in Chris Hemsworth's and just take a break for a minute.
How you doing, Shadow Legion?
No.
How about Ryan Gosling as Booster Gold? You know, I'm honestly surprised that guy hasn't actually campaigned for any kind of superhero stuff.
Yeah, I really thought. I mean, he was young Hercules for a while, so I'm surprised he hasn't forayed into the.
Wow, you went way back with his.
I remember young Hercules.
Wow, young Hercules. Nobody remembers that one. Maybe your mom did that. Did you see Damon Wayne's first appearance sold for $1,000? What? Wait. That's got to be graded though, because ain't no way that's not graded. The dude's only been around. Oh, look, Morrison must be. I don't even know if Morrison pays attention to any of this. Morrison might be like Alan Moore. Already hating on this. Alan Moore's like, I already hate this. I just heard about it 5 minutes ago. Josh here. They need to cast someone young and hot to play Skeets. What? I was kind of Skeets as like the guy from Quantum Leap, Al. You know, the guy that he talks to, the little thing. I bet the Booster Gold hardcovers are worth gold. Oh yeah, they're gone. I was like, I do have an oversized custom omnibus of Booster Gold. Mm-hmm. That might go for a lot of money, or two of them rather. And all my 52 pickup. I'm hoping that what happens is that there is a snowball effect of these things, and DC's collected editions department starts actually putting out things like the Supergirl book, actually bringing that out in the Lux hardcover format. I mean, it's a Tom King book. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
Yeah. Which I forgot to mention that Tom King was also one of the writers that he tapped for his visionary board of writers to help steer the direction of the DC universe. Shouldn't be surprising because Tom King's done a lot of amazing DC books in the last few years. So I'm not surprised they tapped him to be a part of that at all.
I mean,
I'm not surprised. That's why we got Supergirl World of Tomorrow for tomorrow too.
Supergirl World of Tomorrow for tomorrow is a different kind of Tom King story too. Tom King seems to be very formulaic in the way that he writes his stories, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's very hit and miss with me. There are some things that I love by him, and some things that I'm like, it's okay. I remember, but he was tied into the Fourth World thing, and then when the Fourth World movie got canceled, like he had to tweet everybody. Please keep Tom King away from Batman movies. Remember when I said hit and miss?
Yes.
Although there were some things in his Batman run that I did enjoy, like I Am Suicide. I thought that was a really good story. I didn't like the way it ended it at all.
Yeah.
Or which did Tom King do to Dick Grayson? Think we'll end up with that? And the Rick Grayson crap? No.
I hope not.
Forever #forever Dick.
Someone asked if we were going to get a Nightwing cameo in Brave and the Bold. And I guess we can talk about movies now because we talked about all the TV shows.
Yeah, let's move on to movies.
Yeah, but as long as they cast the right person, because we need a good-looking Nightwing.
Yeah, that's another one that's going to be really hard to cast.
That's going to be hard to cast because...
honestly, though, there's only one man that could probably pull it off, and he's not doing much these days. That's right.
Not my Nightwing.
Next time, baby. Suit up, man. That's all we need him to do.
Suit up. Right. So let's talk about the movie. So the first one, which is what James Gunn has said in the video he put out, as well as several interviews, Superman Legacy. That's supposedly right now tentatively coming out July 11th, 2025. So he's already been writing it. They're going to probably start the casting process soon. So we're probably going to get an announcement, I bet, here probably by the summer for it, who's going to be playing Superman. I bet you when we start getting with San Diego Comic-Con, etc., we're going to see an announcement for who will be playing Superman in Superman 2025. Or Superman in 2025. But this is going to focus on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage and his human upbringing. And I think All-Star Superman is really the inspiration behind that. And if you guys haven't, we actually did a old reader, new reader a while back. I'm talking like a few years back. Me, Omar, and Maddie with that book. So I urge you to check it out and see what we thought of that comic.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it is great.
I love that book.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Brave and the Bold, is that where he was? Gosh dang it, Ziggy. That's right. Thank you, Jeff Sutter, for the super chat. It was Ziggy with bad breath. That's all I remember about that. Yes. Okay, so I appreciate that, Superman. We're moving away from Superman Year One or another legacy, and we're kind of jumping into it like the Batman. So the Brave and the Bold. What was said about this? Did you freeze on me? What's going on? Or you still there, Amanda?
No, I am still here, but you're cutting it out. I don't know if it's my internet or yours.
Well, the fact that you were cutting out, but we got a nice overlay right on top of us, so that's good. I was curious what was said about the Brave and the Bold. Yeah, sure. Hold on. I'll talk to the chat while you.
We're back.
Okay.
No, we're back. You're good.
I was always here. Didn't know I was gone. Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So no, the Brave and the Bold. Oh my gosh. Okay. My internet is all wonky. I'm going to take myself off for a second.
Yeah, I'll be right. Okay. How's everybody doing? This is the Uncanny Omar. All right. Well, Amanda will be back. The Brave and the Bold will be an intro to the Bat family, but mostly about Batman and Damian. Okay, so I know that's where he said Damian's going to come in. Now, is this the same Batman that was in the movie, the last movie? Robert Pattinson Bear? They need to cast someone young and hot to play Siggy. Pretty sure Reelz will be adapting Court of Owls for Batman 2 with the new DCU movie focusing and introducing Damian. So is Damian going to be introduced in that or Brave and the Bold? Or is Brave and the Bold Batman 2? Hi, NMC. Thank you so much, Joel. Love everything so far from Gunn. I'd love to see a show focused on detectives like Bullock and John Johns. Detective Chimp, the question. Well, I think Amanda said that's kind of what the idea behind the Lanterns is going to be. So that sounds pretty cool to me. I like the idea of the Green Lanterns actually doing detective work. Hey, now. Are you back?
Thank you for fixing it. I don't know. I was going to see how this works. Are we talking about, still talking about the Brave and the Bold, or did you move on to something
else? I
was
wondering what the Brave and the Bold was going to be. Is it going to be Matt Reeves? Is it going to be Robert Pattinson Bear? No. We're starting over?
Matt Reeves. Yeah, Matt Reeves' Batman is considered Elseworlds. So whatever that Elseworlds titles will be, that is going to be completely separate. So Brave and the Bold is part of this DC universe, and that's it. So
we're not going to see Patterson is the Elseworld and not the main universe. What kind of world are we living in? That's crazy.
I don't know.
Man, I love James Gunn. A part of me doesn't think the new relaunch will work. If they're given enough time and he gives this, if he gives these projects to the right people, I think some of this will be wonderful. And it is impossible for one man to oversee everything. But then again, we had Kevin Feige. He had a lot of good years. And James Gunn has learned a lot from what Marvel and MCU did right and wrong. So hopefully we will see. What I don't want is them to stretch themselves thin. I know we haven't been given specific dates, but if we're looking for the next couple of years, that's a lot of movies and TV shows to get off the ground. Superman, Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, The Authority, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Love that they're doing that too.
Yeah, I think that with Superman, if that's not coming out till 2025, and we're right at the beginning of 2023 now, from what I can tell, Creature Commandos is going to come out on HBO Max before that, but it's not going to be the true start because it's the animated series and it's just an introduction to this task force that Waller is building up, right? So I think that we're probably going to have Viola Davis, and there's still that connect with the Suicide Squad and Waller, etc. And then I think we're going to get Superman and then probably Brave and the Bold. I think we're going to be looking at a couple years down the road. So they're going to have time to develop this stuff and not try to push it out in the next, we're going to have we might have 2 movies come out in 2025, maybe 3, but we're not going to see all of these coming out in 2025, probably 2025, 2026 is my guess.
Wait, how was that again?
2025 and 2026. I think we'll see these spread out.
Wow.
With maybe additional things that we haven't even heard of yet. I don't know.
Do we think DC will lean heavier into art ratings? I am hoping out of the projects that we've seen here so far, the R-rated ones are definitely the
HBO Max ones.
Well, the Paradise Lost has me curious. I'll be honest.
Well, Game of Thrones, and then even
if that's how they're comparing it, and the Lanterns.
Yes,
like I for real want to see a Green Lantern True Detective type of story like that. Then you got to make it R.
Waller, because you can't go from like Peacemaker was TVMA. You can't take, and then Suicide Squads, they were all, you can't take that and then make it nicer. It has to stay consistent.
Nicer. Okay.
Whatever you want to call it. PG-13, able.
Like, honestly, any of those shows with his type of humor, crazy. All right, here we go. They announced Superman Legacy in July of 2025 and the Batman Part 2 in October of 2025. But Batman Part 2 doesn't, like, James Gunn has nothing to do with that, right?
Yeah, he's not focused on that. Yeah, I would say that she's great.
Omar, hotter take. I agree. Ooh, she's got a nice voice too. And the Authority, I mean, yeah, without looking at the movie so far, the Authority is just one of those movies that has to work.
Superman probably won't be rated R.
I mean, the Superman, and I don't want them to change Superman. There's a purity and innocence to Superman that can still whoop your ass, but at the end of the day, he's a good guy. He's a good human being. With the characters in the Authority, they really walk in the middle ground. There's a lot of gray area. That's what makes the Authority. So we don't need every superhero to walk that gray line, which was a lot of the problem with the Snyderverse that people had. You already have a Batman that kills. You have a Superman that killed in the first movie. You have a Wonder Woman that killed. Like, what's so different about these characters if they're all doing these things? Like, they're not innocent. There's nothing that separates them from each other. So I don't want them to repeat that here. So I hope they can at least distinguish like Superman. We got to keep him good no matter what. Okay, let's see.
I just say for Damian. I just wonder who they're going to cast for Damian Wayne.
I remember when we were doing Umbrella Academy, people kept going on about that kid, number 5.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Remember that? Like, oh my god.
By this point, he won't be a tween anymore. Because I mean, when Gunn was talking about it and describing it, he said he's a murderous tween raised by assassins. He's a little son of a bitch, and he's his favorite Robin. So he really has this heart set on this character, Damian Wayne.
But it's impossible to like. You can't do that, right? Like, because the difference is that these kids are going to age. That's the problem when you cast kids in roles like this. How
So right now,
let's say you cast a 12-year-old. How many years that we go? Then again, Timothy Chalamet, stays that young. He looks like a tween. Maybe cast somebody like that. I was gonna say, realistically speaking, if they cast somebody that's 12 years old, how many years do you have with this kid before you can stop filming and he grows out of his costume? Yeah,
I was thinking the kid from the Adam Project because he's still kind of young, and
I don't know who that is. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, he's a little.
All right. If the kid is 10 years old in the movie, just think.
Is he going to be 10? He's a tween. He could
be how many movies they can do? Well, Damian's young. Like, he really is young in the comics.
I'm looking up good tween actors.
Realistically, how many years they could do before that kid hits a growth spurt, his voice changes, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Danny DeVito as Damian.
Well, I mean, the Harry Potter movies alone are a good enough reason to always be wary about casting children, because you have to watch poor Daniel Radcliffe go through those voice changes. Ooh,
no, yeah, it happens.
It was tough.
It happens in TV shows too.
Yes.
And writers have to write kids out of TV shows. Unless they do what I suggested doing, is film 3 movies back to back, but it's impossible to do that. Not when you're talking about the Batman, or Brave and the Bold. God, I'm excited about that though. How about Spider, the human kid from Avatar 2? I've already forgotten about that kid.
Well, kids again, like they're actually, they're in their early they're late teens, early 20s when you see them in their interviews. So by the time they get to filming Brave and the Bold, we don't want to run into that whole that's not a real high schooler, because they're actually 26, and they're trying to play.
If they do a high schooler, then they can go the 90210 route and cast the a 27-year-old. But I like they cast a 5-year-old and hope for the best.
Yeah, just hope that he's gonna he's still gonna be a good actor and he's gonna age and be cute when he grows up. Like,
and be cute, because that's important in Hollywood.
The
future Damian actor is probably in kindergarten right now. That's adorable to kind of think of. Cast Tom Holland. No, Tom Holland is busy making a family, according to Amanda. But
I don't know what he's doing. He's not doing anything except still promoting his foundation and being with Zendaya.
You know what? At this point, John, you're right. They should just use deep fake effects. You know, have Tom Cruise's face on this kid, and then you got Damian. You can recast the kids over and over.
CGI, like making them look younger, de-aging only works so well. I don't think they go that much.
I don't know, man. They got me fooled. It might be my eyes getting older too. Michael Keaton is Damian. Where have you been, Block?
What is happening?
Can we get a 90s Superboy with the shades? Yes. Make Damian all CG, aging problem solved. And then you shoot up all your budget. There goes all your money. I got Jason Priestley doing anything. 90210. Yeah, that dude was like 25, 26.
I gotta look at the best actors under 25. No, that's not gonna work because half these kids are already too old. Okay. Anyways, so yes, we're gonna get Damian Wayne. I'm excited about that. Though I do hope we get a Nightwing cameo that will lead to a Nightwing movie.
Oh, dude, Nightwing. I so want.
I want Nightwing so badly. I just need a Dick Grayson in my life. Maybe just in real life. I need a Dick Grayson. Can someone give me a real life Dick Grayson?
Can somebody please give her a real Dick Grayson?
Dick.
Thank you for the super chat, buddy.
I need to. Yes, thank you for the super chat. I need to also put Dick Grayson as because I want Dick because that sounds like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's a T-shirt. You know, teaching people in 90s 90210 class. That's right, baby. You got Luke Perry. Well, rest in peace. He's gone now. What was his name? Ian, the guy from Sharknado. He made his Jenny.
Oh, Ian Hart? No,
yeah, Ian Zimmerman, maybe.
Ian Zimmerman. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I want Tom Holland casted as Superman.
Oh, so fun fact. I did hear a rumor that Jacob Elordi, the actor from Euphoria and the Kissing Booth franchise, has been rumored to be playing Superman, which I would not like at all.
I haven't heard that, nor have I seen those two. No, I did see the first season of Euphoria, but it was okay. Finn Wolfhard as Damian. He might be too old, but Andrew Garfield is Dick Grayson.
Oh,
actually, that might work. I mean,
that would work for me.
A guy in his 20s, right? I think so. Maybe
he still looks good in a tight suit. Yes, give me an Andrew Garfield as Dick Grayson. I would be okay with that.
The most important question of the night.
Ooh,
Superman Legacy have his classic suit, you know, with the undies out, or a more modern suit like Rebirth. You know, I don't know. I don't know what Gunn wants out of this. What I really want is John Williams' score back in a Superman movie. That's what I want. Not that there was anything wrong with Hans Zimmerman, because I really like the Man of Steel. Ian Ziering, thank you so much. That's
Zimmerman.
Ian Ziering, thank you so much. But I don't know, man. Underwear out, man. You gotta go with the classic suit, brother. Gotta go with the classic. That will be the difference between this and the Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Suit. Oh, this is the kid I was talking about from the Adam Project. So this is him. His name is Walker Scope.
Is Deadpool.
Well, no, that is, but that's who he's supposed to play a younger version of himself. That's his dad. I'm sorry, it's his dad, but he didn't anyways. That's him, the kid. And he was born in 2009, so that means that so he could still be one of those kids by the time Damian he'll just have to play he'll probably be a 16-year-old playing a 12-year-old. And he
tweeted a poll about the trunks. Trunks are very important, people. Trunks are very important. I'm okay. So in all seriousness, the whole Dick Grayson thing, it really depends on the type of Batman they're gonna have for the Brave and the Bold.
True.
Is the Batman they're gonna have in the Brave and the Bold in his 40s? Because then you cast somebody in their 20s, right? Mm-hmm. But if the Batman they're having in Brave and the Bold is like Robert Pattinson, then then you're talking teenage Nightwing, because that's a really young Batman. So I'm hoping it's somebody in his 40s, you know, as Batman.
He's a kid. I'm not just saying you can't have a kid when you're younger, but
no, you can't. And I don't know the origin of the movie version of the kid, but in the comics, it was like, you know, we're gonna take your stuff. And anyway, Willem Dafoe better somehow appear in one of these projects as the Joker.
Man, there's a missed opportunity. He would have been a good Joker or some villain. Oh, thank you,
Scotty G. How you been, brother? Thank you for the super chat, man. Always great to see amazing Amanda's killer smile and the Uncanny Omar. Just the Uncanny Omar. Love the show. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
All the rum and coke I've been drinking. That's why
that's why she has a killer smile.
And I mean, honestly,
she's crushing over Dick Grayson that she's not even know who it is.
When I get off here, guys, I have to go get that Grayson omnibus.
Oh gosh, I was like, wait, you need to stop talking.
Yeah, me and the Grayson omnibus are going to go back to my room. Because I'm really excited about that.
I did not know I was going to walk into that one. Let's see here. Chelsea, where Gunn said that Flash was his favorite movie releasing this year.
Yes.
I believe he's paid to say that. Like, he gets paid to say things.
Yeah, that was our question in the beginning of the chat, or the beginning of the show, is how much of that was them trying to keep hope alive.
And it makes sense,
right? Yeah.
You're working for this company, and you're now the face of this company. You're not going to say, whoa, just wait for video, or what do they call it now, streaming, because it sucks. I don't see him doing that. No. I want a middle-aged Batman who's an a-hole and doesn't have a good relationship with his former Robins, which is easy to pull off. Ooh, I like that. John Hamm is old.
Ooh, yeah, that's not bad.
I like that guy a lot. I'm surprised that guy hasn't blown up, honestly. Like, I really thought after Mad Men he'd be all over the place. What's going on, Werewolf? It's always struck me how the Man of Steel costume colors were essentially the same as the dark Superman colors from Superman 3. You are correct about that.
Yes.
Omar, what would your first pick be for a project to be adapted in the DC universe? Oh, I'm actually with Amanda. I want a Grayson. There was this short, I'm sure it's still online, but there was a short that went around a few years. Oh my gosh, maybe 15 years ago. It was called Grayson. And it's like, you know, it was a fan made short, but it was a really cool story. Like, Batman was dead and Grayson, went to face Superman, and they were trying to get this little thing funded. But that's the kind of story that I want. I want him an adult type of Dick Grayson story, because he's been forever in the shadows of Batman, and he kind of stands on his own. There's a certain complexity to that character that I enjoy. So I would like to see that in the big screen, and then people can be like, "Ooh, Nightwing, he's a lot more than just a nice butt. He's a really cool character."
No, he is a cool character, but he also does
have a nice butt.
You can be both. You can be a good character and have a nice butt. That's just like, I mean, same for women. There's like, you can have really nice features, but also be a great actress. It's all comes around.
Oh, why didn't you think of this, Amanda?
No, because he has to be Iron Lad. Jet, we've already talked about this in every other episode.
No, that kid's going to be in the 30s by the time the Young Avengers are formed. Ain't no Iron Lad.
He's already going, like, in real life, he's going through college right now. He's running out of time.
It is really creepy that you're keeping up on this kid.
Because one day he's going to announce that he's Iron Lad, so I have to keep up with him just in case.
What was this guy's name? The gentleman that played Black Bolt? He would be a killer Batman. Since a talentless hack on Twitter. I should know.
Oh, God. What is his name? Because my mom really likes him. He was in the Britney Spears Crossroads. God, why do I know that?
You know damn well why you know that, because you've seen that movie.
Jensen Ackles is what I'm thinking of. What is his name?
Oh, thank you so much, Scotty E.
Yes, thank you again.
Oh, yeah, this makes up for 30% of the YouTube. Thank you, brother, because it sucks.
Anson Mount. I want to say Jensen. Anson Mount. That's why I kept thinking Jensen.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, brother, for the super chat.
Yes, thank you for the super chat, Scotty, again.
Nightwing actor from Titan. Actually, I like that kid. I didn't like the show, but I like that guy that played.
I do like that actor.
Ham was a great. Oh, that's such a good movie, man. Baby Driver's so good.
It was a great.
Oh.
I think he already has someone for that.
Oh, do I?
Oh no, not Nikita Lyons.
Oh, where's my Nikita Lyons kid?
I didn't delete anything. It wasn't me.
You say that every time. It's God. Melody. She's always deleting my wonderful gifts.
Women chat.
My sexy women gifts. All right. No, whoops. There we go.
Nikita Lyons is gone.
Yeah,
what
she's
else?
gone. I'll take
What
Darcy.
are all these things in this place?
I don't know. Melanie takes over for a night, and all my good stuff is gone. All right. Thank you for the super chat, brother.
Yes, thank
you.
you.
Long shot, but the invisible. Actually, Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol I thought was adapted so well, and I don't know if Wokanada's still in the chat or not, but he was right. Like, that was a very underrated show that nobody was talking about. It is so good.
Yeah. And I know it's over. And I think, they've reached the point where I think they knew ahead of time that it was over. So the series will have a conclusion that should be satisfying, but it still is. Yeah. They got 4 seasons, right? That's pretty good for this day and age.
Honestly, that is really good considering what the other show got canceled, right?
Yeah.
The Superman and Lois, I think, will have 1 more season. That's what I heard.
Yeah, but everything else is, for the most part.
What's up, Honda Lori? How you doing, brother? John Hamm was in Top Gun too. He was in Fletch, which I need to watch. He also was in a lot of movies in the last 10 years. I meant like blown up as like people just asking him to be in everything, like taking the leading roles and things. Honestly, I thought Clive Owen would blow up too because that guy kills it. I love that actor.
He is really.
He is not in enough stuff. Vanessa Kirby would be cool, but no idea who she could play.
I like that actress a lot.
Who's that actress?
So Vanessa Kirby, what was she in recently that you'd be familiar with?
I don't know. I watch a lot of things.
I know. You'll recognize her. She's blonde. She's in Mission Impossible. The blonde from Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's good. I like her.
Yes, she was in The Crown as well. So
hoping Sam Raimi for Brave and the Bold. He said he'd want to do a Batman and Robin, or they could give it to Tim Burton. But I want old Tim Burton back. Not Wizard of Oz Tim Burton, Dumbo Tim Burton. I mean, classic.
What's the most recent thing Tim Burton? Oh, did he have?
He did the first episode of Wednesday. He directed that.
Yeah, he did do that. Yeah, which if it wasn't for those viral dances, man, would they have gotten?
Clive Owen isn't even in enough fact right here. He's not in enough Sin City. He's a phenomenal actor, man. I don't know why that guy didn't really blow up. What do y'all think of Margot Robbie as Supergirl? I think she'd be great. I think at this point she's kind of stepping away from the superhero stuff.
Yes,
like she's giving up the role of Harley Quinn because didn't she say that Suicide Squad 2 would be her last?
Yes. And I think she's moving into a different direction with her career. I mean, we've seen her now in Babylon. She was just in she's going to be in that new Barbie movie. She's going for a different type of movie now, I think. I think where she wants to focus her career is moving past, which I understand. When you're connected to a character for so long, you want to move away from it and do different things. I mean, look at what Daniel Radcliffe did after Harry Potter. I mean, he was naked on stage. He was a dead man who kept farting all the time. I mean, he went in really weird directions just to get away from the Harry Potter. Miracle Workers. I mean, there's a crazy show. And Weird Al Yankovic, if you haven't seen that
the biopic,
you really should. He's actually pretty good as Weird Al, and that is a crazy show with an insane amount of cameos because they're all like Weird Al's friends.
Man, they should just cast what's her name then, Samara Weaving.
Oh, there's someone who's like been in everything.
I love that girl, man.
They
can put her in more things.
But I would like to see that Elsa girls.
Dude, I finally saw the menu and I was really disappointed. Not a fan.
It was supposed to be like, I haven't watched it yet, but it was supposed to be like.
Oh, I'm not gonna spoil it then. Go and watch it. I wasn't really disappointed. It was entertaining enough, and then the second half, I was like, "Whoa, did they not think this through?"
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents. Glenn Powell, what's up, Rafael Miranda? ¿Cómo estás, hermano? Actually, somebody mentioned earlier he would be great as Booster Gold, and I actually now can see that instead of Chris Pratt. Nothing against Chris Pratt, but he was fine as Star-Lord, so I don't want him in another DC universe or in a DC universe acting kind of the same way. Sadie Sink is going to blow up.
She will be.
Should be casted in something. And the girl from 1883, like Roberto Rodriguez said, absolutely.
Yeah, someone said, I think Rudy the librarian said that.
It's Barbara Gordon.
Barbara Gordon. And if we're going for younger, in her 20s, then Sadie Sink would fit that.
Oh, I like that actually.
Yeah.
How about Samara Weaving as Harley Quinn? Might as well, right?
I mean, yeah, there we go. Someone said Mia Goth, that girl from the A20 Pearl, the girl from Pearl. as a Harley Quinn earlier, and I was like, okay, I could see that. She's quirky. Sure, I like that. That'd be a really interesting, different direction.
Is Grifter part of the Authority? Not really. He was part of the Wildcats, but then that is part of the Wildstorm universe, which the Authority started in and then went over to DC. But I mean, it's a DC property, so they own both Grifter and the Authority. They can do whatever they want to. It doesn't just have to be the Authority folks that you've seen in the comics. It could be Apollo, Midnighter, and if they wanted to, they could throw in Firestorm or the Atom.
Well, I think he did mention, because we touched on the Authority, but when he announced the Authority, he did mention that he was bringing some Wildstorm characters into it. So there's
Mr. Majestic. You gotta bring it. Oh, yes. I kind of like that. Here, let's pull that up really quick.
What?
The Authority. So, the Authority. What was it exactly that he said? What kind of hints did he give
at? Basically, he just hinted that he was going to bring in Wildstorm characters that is owned by DC into the Authority. Yeah. And he talked a lot about how it's going to be a very gray area, not just like good guy versus bad guy, but they believe, basically the whole idea is they believe the world's broken, that it needs to be saved. And they're also going to be interacting with the other franchise characters. Cause again, like this is going to be connected. So he hasn't really went into who is going to be on the Authority team, but
my God, that is so perfect. Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill as Apollo and Midnighter. I don't think you haven't read the Authority.
I have not, but okay. You're gonna find me that so that I can read it.
Yeah. I'll see if I still have my hardcover somewhere. Okay, so Midnighter and Apollo are the Batman and Superman, but they're together, like they're a couple.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, they are so freaking awesome. Like the characters themselves are awesome. And that would be, that would redeem it. That would redeem
everything that's happened to them.
Henry Cavill and redeem what happened to.
Which is not James Gunn's fault. It's really that previous DC.
Stop it. It's really.
It's really the previous regime's fault. The way they handled everything.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's just doing the best he can to rewrite the ship, which I think he's trying his hardest. And luckily, he loves this stuff. This is just like Kevin Feige. He is a fan.
With some fake mustaches. Now I can't.
If the universe is reset, were they ever in the Flash? Were they ever really Batman and Superman to be in the first place? So for the characters, it would.
I guess it doesn't matter anymore. People went crazy with The Last of Us episode 3. Wait till they see Apollo and Midnighter. Oh yeah, you're right.
You're right. But
not people. Some people did.
Some people, because other people know that episode's going to win them the end.
It was a really pretty episode, man. Yeah. It was great. Omar, you vote? Of course I did, man. My girl Dazzler made my vote, baby. So I'm excited to see where the X-Men go. Riley Lay. Do you know who this young lady is?
Riley Lay is Cassandra.
I know who Cassandra Cain is, but
I don't know who Riley Lay is. I don't
look her up. What's going on, Philip? How are you, brother? I can't believe I'm on board, but please make Henry and Ben Apollo Midnighter. I would instantly be 10 times right. It would you would forget everything that happened in the past. Oh man, that's such a good idea. I love now. That's what I want. Like I don't care what.
Is it the girl from Paper Girls who played Aaron? Do you remember the Paper Girl series? Yeah.
Yeah,
I know we both watched it. We just didn't review it because,
Clarion the Witch Boy. I know it's random, but feel like Gunn would do the character well. Yeah, and I think it's characters like that you're going to see throughout all of this, and then there's going to be some kind of connection.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Last of Us, dude.
It was beautiful. Yeah, Nick Offerman's probably going to get a nomination now for that.
Absolutely, it deserves it, and especially. I wish we were reviewing Last of Us as soon as it's over because people want to talk about it as soon as it's done. And we like Sunday nights are just rough. Really quick, which is better, the Absolutes or the Omni for the Authority? The Omnibus is a little more complete. It has a little more issues. The Absolutes are gorgeous because you get Brian Hitch in that oversized. Oh my gosh, beautiful artwork. Both of them are out of print right now. I can't believe DC let that one go out of print, though. I have a feeling the Authority will be back, though. At least in the omnibus format.
Yeah. But to the point about some of those lesser known characters, so one of the things that James Gunn did say, which I love, is that their strategy is take their diamond characters, so Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and use them to prop up characters that people who are not as familiar with the comics don't know, and then build those properties into diamond properties of tomorrow, much like what he did with Guardians with the movie, right? Not a lot of non-comic book fans would know what the Guardians were, but then because of the movies, they become a staple.
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
And the thing with Gunn is that he respects where these stories came from. He's not just a guy making movies and looking at Wikipedia for the quick synopsis as to the powers of these characters. He actually appreciates and understands a lot of these stories. I'm not saying he's read everything, nor does he need to, but oh my God, it's in good hands. Hold on really quick. I didn't like episode 3 of The Last of Us, but I am dead inside. You said it, Roberto Rodriguez. I still love it, brother. Let's see. I really want to see Deathstroke. Oh, dude. The fight with Batman, I wanted to see that so bad. And I thought that guy, what is his name? He was in that Magic Mike movie.
You talking about Joe Manganiello? Sophia? Yeah. Okay.
I thought that was a pretty good casting. You know, he's a big dude. I thought it was
too. Yeah. It's a shame that he never really got to do anything with the role, right? Like,
ooh, I do like this. Kenny saying Elle Fanning is Supergirl.
Okay.
Kind of like that. Or like they mentioned earlier, the girl from 1883.
That's really I think
I love her voice, man. I love her voice. I love
she has a beautiful voice. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Don't get me wrong, she's a pretty girl, but she's also got a very, I don't know, something about her voice. The girl who plays Wednesday Addams would be great as Batgirl. I feel like if they're gonna cast Batgirl like Cassandra Cain Batgirl, they might look for an Asian actress.
Yeah.
And I think Jenna Ortega. I'm trying to think of who she would play in the DCU. This is fun to cast people. We should just do a separate show on casting the DCU.
We will. Yeah, we will do a separate show because it is fun to cast.
Jenny Sparks. I love that character, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, is Jennifer or Kate Beckinsale British?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
You think that's a really good fake British accent that she does?
I've seen Underworld and maybe a couple of other movies she was in. I didn't know she was British. Okay, so let's see. If Kate Beckinsale was younger, yeah, Jenny Sparks just has that certain attitude, right? Ooh, there we go. Jenna Ortega. No, Jenna Ortega is Jessica Cruz. Jessica Cruz. There's a perfect fit for Jenna Ortega. What is it? I was just thinking about that.
That's what I need to, because she would be a perfect fit.
She's 5. She's a little bit slower. She's a little bit shorter.
She's not slower. She's just a little bit shorter.
I didn't say slower. I meant shorter, dude. See, Jenna Ortega is 5'1".
She's not Lea Michele. She knows how to read. Good Lord.
I can't believe you just throw Lea Michele on.
I know. I feel bad now.
Is it true? Episode 3 of The Last of Us broke the back of the internet. I don't know.
No.
It broke me up, man. I was crying. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Omar's all that. What was his name again? So you don't realize that he watches Magic Mike daily.
Yeah, when I
never seen Magic Mike, man.
Magic Mike Last Dance.
I meant shorter. Do not take words out of my mouth. Damn it. I'm going to regret saying that. Omar sounds slower. It's the alcohol, man. I'm excited about these DC movies. Raven. Perfect. That's it. Raven. Yes.
Yes,
Raven.
100%.
Perfect as Raven. Because she's kind of played that role a little bit in Wednesday, so I could see her as Raven.
Yes.
That's perfect.
She could do that justice. Yep.
I like that. John Goodman is Perry White. Goodman, what's he been in?
Recently, I mean, I've seen him in Argo, but I know he's been in other stuff since then. That's been a long time.
He was in TV shows, right? Like
he was in one of the Cloverfield sequel spinoffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Magic Mike was a good. Hey, I ain't hating if you like it, Matt. More power to you, brother.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make Omar go see Magic Mike.
I don't know how she's gonna make me. It comes out on my birthday month. I don't think
I'm gonna tell him it's something else, and I'm gonna surprise him.
Is Florence Pugh in it? That's the only one I've got to watch. Broke the back of the internet was a play. I know what you were doing, brother. I know what you were doing. I didn't know if anybody else got that. Brendan Fraser as Blue Beetle, Ted Kord. I would love that, but wasn't he casted as Firefly in the Batgirl movie? And
originally, yes.
Right? Didn't that happen?
Yeah.
I just realized if we had a Teen Titans movie, Damian and not Dick. Ugh, please, no. It's happening, man. But keep in mind, Dick would be leading the Titans. Damian would be leading the Teen Titans. So you could have both.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like this. Magic Mike has Olivia Munn. Okay.
So we didn't really talk about. So the last one we didn't talk about Swamp Thing really, and
let's talk about.
No problem. We've been casting Supergirl. We haven't really talked about
Why
it.
have we been casting Supergirl? That's what happens when I'm drinking and people.
I know we've been casting her. We haven't really talked about her. So,
all right.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is the other one that he had mentioned, obviously from the Tom King series. And given that Tom King was on on his staff of people developing this universe, not a surprise. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're gonna see a different Kara that we've seen in like the Supergirl CW show, right? It's gonna be a different take on Supergirl. She's gonna be a little more serious, I think. This is gonna be one of those that I don't know if it'll cross the rated R side, but it's gonna get close, I think.
Okay.
And then the last one that we didn't talk about was Swamp Thing. So obviously there was a show that only had one season. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to be getting another origin story for the Swamp Thing that's going to feed into the rest of the universes.
Now, this is the one that it's the gentleman that did Logan, right? Is rumored to be directing this one as well?
Yes. And it's going to be a horror film too, is what he said.
Oh, you had me at horror. Okay. Yeah.
So it's going to be it's going to have horror driven.
I'm surprised they're going movie route instead of TV route.
For Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
I'm not too surprised by it because horror films have been having a little bit of a renaissance as of late. And, when they decide to release it could be, look at Megan. Like, we wouldn't think that would have made as much money as it's been making, or many of the other horror films. But if it has a good director behind it, a good cast, and I think that you could see it make some money.
The reason I said TV show was because they've already, we did Swamp Thing and then Return to Swamp Thing in the 80s, those movies. There was I don't know if people remember, but there was a USA Swamp Thing TV show back in the 90s. And then we had the HBO Now season that came out that was canceled before the first episode even came out. Where are the Wonder Woman and Nightwing movies? We don't know yet. We do know that Paradise Lost is going to be part of the TV show. And I don't know. I'm thinking that one is Themyscira and Amazon.
Yeah, I don't think that Wonder Woman is. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have a Wonder Woman movie per se. I think they're going to take a break from Wonder Woman for a while.
Well, Wonder Woman
and focus
had Gal, right? Just recently. So, she's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
How can you fire
I mean, and we all know.
I was like, how would you fire that? That must have been through text message. Hey, Gal, don't bother coming in. We send you your last check. Send us your
That's awful.
You can't fire a woman like that when she's standing in front of you. You gotta have no heart, man. Will they recast Constantine since Swamp Thing is coming? Were they casted? Who's the last person that played John Constantine in the TV show?
That actor, I can't think of his name, but the actor from John Constantine. Or from Constantine. I don't remember the actor's name, but that's the last person who's played him. That's great.
Okay. Yes, I assume they're going to recast him to play the John Constantine Swamp Thing. Oh, dude, I hope we get Animal Man. I love Animal Man. That rightly needs to be adapted. That I would like to see as a TV show. You put Grant Morrison on top. You stop Grant Morrison from doing whatever they're doing right now and bring him over to do the Animal Man movie. I wouldn't be surprised if they killed Superman and replaced him with Kara. Or and or John fairly early on, huh?
Would they do that?
It is
No,
legacy though, right? Matt Ryan. I think they
that's his name.
Ryan. Matt Ryan. Okay, thank you all so much for joining.
Okay, thank you, Matt Ryan. Yes.
Supergirl used to be a senator. Supergirl used to be a senator. Democratic or Republican.
Oh, really?
The Supergirl.
I don't know.
The actress. Sorry, I'm late. What's going on? That boy Steve. Looking forward to Swamp Thing and Brave and the Bold. Same, brother. Glad to see Damian Wayne finally get his chance to shine in live action. Also hope Swamp Thing gets an R-rated. Out of the movies, we didn't talk about that. Out of the movies, the ones that I want to see R-rated are definitely Swamp Thing and The Authority. I'm okay with Superman staying clean. Supergirl, sure. PG-13. Brave and the Bold, same. Even though you have edgy Damian in there, I still would like it to be PG at least, or PG-13. But we only need a couple rated R. I mean, movies don't have to be rated R to make them successful.
No, it's true. I mean, they can flirt the line and still get away with it and be okay.
That's not that girl Babs that was the Congresswoman. Ooh, Kiana wants to be John. Dude, then you let Kiana walk in and be John Constantine again.
I mean, then you just let him do what he wants to do.
I mean, or he's going to whoop your ass is what's going to happen. Not sure if it's already been mentioned, but apparently the Superman Legacy will lead directly into The Authority. See, that's what I was asking. Like, are some of these movies going to be leading into other movies or tying TV shows together? It seems like some of them will be, huh?
And they will be. And even if they're not direct tie-ins, it's going to tie into an overarching story. I don't know if they'll do all this is going to lead up to a big team up or something like that. I don't know if that's the case, but it's going to have a lot of ties, one to the other.
Introducing Barbara as Oracle. I don't know. That's a tough one because I love Oracle. I mean, that's the way I grew up. I've always known Babs as Oracle. But I would still like to see her time as Batgirl and then have, I hate to say this, something horrible happen to her, and then her rise above that and become the badass of Oracle. And her and Dick together. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so awesome.
That's what I want. I don't want Barbara Gordon as police commissioner, which they keep leaning into.
Yeah.
I really want Jim still. They want Batgirl, Oracle, both as Barbara.
Me too.
Hopefully we'll get some Justice League Dark. That was another series that was canceled.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they didn't.
Do you guys think there are plans to make Constantine 2, considering Gunn never mentioned it? I wonder what the status of that is.
I mean, it could be one of the things that was in early development and there's nothing to mention, which is probably why he didn't mention it. And because if there was, I mean, obviously he had to mention Peacemaker 2 season 2 because he was directly responsible for that. And he had to let everyone know that it's going to be a while, which is a shame because I really did love the first Peacemaker.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, what's interesting about all this is Gunn in his announcement and then later on in interviews stressed the importance of story over anything else. Right? He wants strong screenplays. And he wants to help prevent that superhero fatigue. And he did call out like the degradation of superheroes or screenwriters in Hollywood. And they want to be, am I in and out or are you here to see me?
Oh, I'm listening. I was just highlighting a question I wanted to get to here in a minute because a couple people have asked.
Oh, you're listening. Okay. Okay, gotcha. No, anyway, so yeah, and one of the things that he's talking about is just they want to be respectful to the voices.
I'm still listening, Amanda.
Sorry, is it my internet again?
Yeah, you did cut out a little bit. It's okay. We're good. We can make out what you're trying to say. He wants to be...
Huh? Oh, he wants to be respectful of the screenwriters and the creators who are going to be working on the films. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't want this to be the Gunn verse, but they may have times where they disagree with the filmmakers. Like, we can't please all filmmakers. And to a point, we want them to have their vision, but also we are trying to tell a bigger story. So I'll be interested to see, because we talked about with the Marvel franchise, there's that Marvel feel to everything, right? The Marvel formula, everything has a certain feel to it. Not a lot of the projects deviate in style or substance from what has become the formula, right? Very few. James Gunn is one of the few, and then Taika created a whole new formula that did not work the second time around. But what Gunn's saying is that he wants to be respectful of the filmmakers and screenwriters' different styles and feels. He wants all these to feel like different stories and not formulaic. Like you're seeing the same film, but with different people playing characters, is what he's trying to do, which I respect that.
Oh, okay, yeah. And hear me out. Hear me out, okay? The Authority, directed by Zack Snyder, okay? Do you hear me? That's right. Then everybody's happy. Then everybody's happy. And you hire Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck as Apollo and Midnighter. Oh, yeah, man. There we go. So people have been asking, what do I think this is going to do with the collected editions? What Omnis will become, will come because of this? I mean, what they decide to do and what I think they should do are two different things. What I think they should do is definitely release Supergirl as a deluxe hardcover edition at the very least. Reprint the Authority as both an omnibus and absolute edition and a complete collection to make it affordable for everybody to read. Let me look at here. Swamp Thing, those are still in print for the most part. But give us a Swamp Thing omnibus by Alan Moore with the original colors. If Superman Legacy, I believe Absolute or All-Star Superman is still in print, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a deluxe edition of that. Brave and the Bold, that's the one that I would love to see a Batman collection post-Crisis. But we have the Grant Morrison omnis of that stuff, because that's where Damian's from. Maybe we can get some kind of Damian omnibus, including all the little miniseries he's been in. And as far as the TV shows, give us a Booster Gold for omnibus, for crying out loud, and a Green Lantern Corps omnibus, and a Suicide Squad omni, the classic John Ostrander stuff. That's what I want to see.
Here we go.
What they end up doing, I don't know, brother. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good call, Omar. And then they can bring in Joss Whedon to finish the film. Match made in heaven, brother. Brave and the Bold, directed by Affleck. No way, man. Remember, like, that's what he blamed. Like, he said, I mean, he was, like, depressed as hell when he was trying to write the script. And having to write it and direct it, no way Affleck does it. I think he's stepping away from that. All-Star Superman's out, then we need to bring that sucker back into print. And just for my man, Mr. Awesome and Becky Lynch, I agree. We bring back, or we make it Justice League International Omnibus Volume 3. I don't know Booster Gold that well as a character, but what I do know of him, I can see Edgar Wright. That is a good choice for a director. If they let him do what he wanted to do with Ant-Man, who would be a good choice to play Starfire? Nikita Lyons. Or Florence.
Oh, yeah.
Or Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. But no, she's already in a superhero franchise, and she's got movies coming out, and it's too much.
It's interesting to me that Gunn said he wants the video games to also be connected to the DCU. Man, he can want whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, I don't know if all this stuff is going to happen. I'm sure. I mean, you want a successful universe, right? You want everything to sell. I mean, you have this IP of Batman, and you want the movies to succeed as well as the video games and the comics. So, of course, as long as they remember where the source material is from and respect it, I think they'll do fine. Edgar Wright should direct the Atom flick. I'm actually good with Booster Gold. That would be good. What's up, Ramon? What DC superhero has not been given a TV show or movie that you would like to see? Well, I think we talked about Nightwing. Yeah, Nightwing would be a good one, but Hawkman. Hawkman's another one of my favorite characters. I actually like the actor that played him in the...
I did too.
Mr. Terrific is another character that I really enjoy. And honestly, the JSA. Just give me the JSA. Bunch of old guys sitting around trying to be superheroes.
I really want Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate. More of that. It's a shame. Like they can still.
I guess that franchise is done, huh?
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, The Rock announced that he basically had a call with James Gunn. He said Black Adam will not be in the first chapter of the new DCU. Now, of course, he's saying that he may not ever be, but come on. By that point, The Rock's moved on. Let's face
Rock, you need to call your buddy.
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto over at Fast and the Furious. You need to be in the next Fast and the Furious movie.
Time to come back to your family, man. It's time to come back to your family.
Power Girl, she's part of the JSA, so I'd be happy to see the JSA. And honestly, a TV show featuring the Sandman, the original Wesley Dodd, like, oh my gosh, I would kill for that. Like a noir.
Yeah.
Dude, that could be filmed all black and white. And you get people like Guillermo del Toro involved. That's what I would love to see. That's what I want to see. Things like that. They have all these different IPs, and Sandman seems to be doing really well for Netflix, so much so that I just saw the banner that said coming soon, season 2, so I'm happy about that officially.
That's very good.
Whether I keep Netflix or not, I don't know because of the password sharing, but that's a whole different subject.
That's rough.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about tonight before we wrap up, Panda?
Nope, that's all I had on our plate. It was a lengthy one, but next week we are going to be doing the Was It Really That Good that we were supposed to do tonight. It will be The Dark Knight because that's what you all voted for. So we'll be getting to rewatch that film and see if it was really worth all the hype that it received. It should be a pretty fun time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
you can't stand black and white. Oh, I love it, man. But throw in Wesley Dodd, Sandman. Oh, you got yourself a good story, dude. Yeah, so very excited to talk about The Dark Knight. It's been a couple of years since I watched it.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing that next Wednesday live. And One Piece is actually coming to
That's awesome.
Netflix. So I don't know how I feel about that. Could it go the Cowboy Bebop way? Or could it go, adaptations sometimes work, like The Last of Us. At least for me, that's up there, man. One of the greatest adaptations I've seen. But I guess that's all we got for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. Hit that like button on the way out. And I will let my wonderful co-host sign us off.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at nearmintcon. Remember, check us out on Spreadshop for some great Near Mint Edition merchandise. And also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us here in everything that we do on this channel. And last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Good job, everyone. And we will see you next week for Dark Knight. Was it really that good?
Was it really that good? Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Adios.